It was our last just war in the classic sense, with unanimity amongst our population as a result of the Japanese attack and as a result of the dreadful violations of humanity and law by Adolf Hitler.
If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish alternative motives. Do good anyway.
And I remember sitting there, and when I thought to myself as I sat, we started the roll call, this is what I've always wanted to do and where I wanted to be. You'd be surprised how much wanting to be a congressman was a part of my young life.
Forget about the magic that's inside of us and in the universe that's all around us. And that's why we magicians are here, to kind of renew our sense of wonder for all this real magic. If you live with this feeling of wonder, your life will always be filled with joy. Thank you and good night.
Hey, Vern. Boy, I'm sure glad you switched from that un-cola. Sprite's everything that stuff is. Clear, clean, caffeine-free. But Sprite tastes better, because only Sprite has liming. Know what I mean?
My mother and I had a wonderful relationship. I remember her saying once, you know, I'm getting so I don't trust anybody anymore. I don't believe anybody. She says, the only person that I believe is Sparky. I believe everything he says. And my dad would say, don't you believe me? And she said, no, I don't even believe you.
It seemed a fairly ordinary night when Brad Majors and his fiancée, Janet Weiss, two young, ordinary, healthy kids, left Denton that late November evening to visit a Dr. Everett Scott, ex-tutor and now friend to both of them.
He's my favorite director. He was my first director, Orson Welles, who did Native Son, written in 1942, written by Richard Wright. And my next famous director was Elia Kazan. Then my next director was George Roy Hill. He directed me in one of Tennessee Williams' plays called A Period of Adjustment.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, this is one of the happiest moments of my life, and also that I have 3 boys, and I hope they grow up to be directors or writers so that they can give their old lady a job.
Yes, I found I wasn't able to carry my share of the family load when it was necessary when my parents divorced by doing any of those sort of things. So along with other members of the family, I just took on any other job that I could that was a little more rewarding.
My gentle Puck, come hither. Thou rememberest, since once I sat upon a promontory and heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath that the rude sea grew civil at her song, and certain stars shot madly from their spheres to hear the sea maid's music.
You know, if I was that young lady and you came and took me to that dance and used that kind of talk, I'd slap your face.
That's right, Ma. Thank you.
Well, the whole world's gone crazy.
If you want to live here, I don't want to see you, I don't want to hear you, I don't want to smell you cooking, all right? Now kindly remove that spaghetti from my poker table. The hell is so funny?
It's not spaghetti, it's linguine. Now it's garbage.
I was just finishing a picture in Hollywood another day to go, and the script arrived on my dressing table, and I heard that it had been delivered by George Lucas, and I thought, well, that's rather impressive, because he's an up-and-coming and very respect-worthy young director, so... And then when I opened it and found it was science fiction, I thought, oh, crumbs, this is simply not for me.
Coleman Hawkins, he's the daddy of the tenor saxophone. I was always raised like that because my father, would always play records by Coleman Hawkins when I was coming up. He didn't just play notes, he played meaning, played with so much meaning and feeling. And I've always been an admirer of Coleman Hawkins.
Sent me off the contract to do this thing. I was in the middle of rebuilding my house. So I had to finish that first because I couldn't stand walking in there again, just tripping over things. So I took a year doing that. And then we did pre-production on this. That took about 3.5 months. And then forever in Beckington, England. Thank you very much.
Well, I owe it all to the same people who gave Come On to My House its big boost. The disc jockeys. Bless them, huh? Oh, that's right. They asked for the single record be made of Cry Me a River, and then they played it and played it and played it.
At one point, we were starting at 11:15 because it had been a local show before it was a network show, and we still had to do 50 minutes of that and then the 90 minutes, which adds up to a lot of minutes.
You promised it would be parked and waiting for me. It is not parked and waiting for me. Why isn't it, and where is it?
Well,
8 o'clock, you said? Promise, I said. On my word of honor, you said. 8 o'clock sharp, I said. Not 1 second later, you said.
Did I say AM or PM?
Are there any children in the audience? Yes? Okay. We do have some children here. That means I can't do the second half in the nude. I wear the tie. The long one.
We had our first national convention in 1957. There was no charge for the rooms and no charge for the food. And so that got us off to a real good start.
How many came?
Only 20, but from 9 different states.
The idea of being a foreign correspondent and wandering the world and witnessing great events and having adventures and covering the activities of world leaders appealed to me greatly. It was a very glamorous life in those days. And I decided that was for me. I wanted to be a foreign correspondent.